Welcome to Center of Light. Good to see you all on this beautiful night. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you are in yourself. That is the whole world personified. It's good to see you. Tonight is Center of Light Truth. Pretty bold, isn't it? I love it. I love a good challenge. Center of Light Truth. What is the truth? Pretty bold, isn't it? I dare to venture into that territory. Please dare to do the same and join me. Lead me. Show me the way to the truth. I don't claim to know it. I know what it tastes like. I had a little bit of it for breakfast. Everyone wants divine, extra divine gravy on their spiritual biscuit. Do you not? What is real? I like dabbling in dark, familiar territory. I'm a spiritual explorer. You can call me Sri Magellan. So tonight I'm just a chilling, hanging out with you beautiful, sexy human souls. Hello everyone on YouTube. Hello everyone on Facebook. Marina Govier, good to see you. Robert Harrison. I want to say thank you to Robert. This centerpiece right here, my beautiful little Kiki, who's right there, last week when we were sleeping in the middle of the night, decided to go investigate. And this chalice I had, which was fractaled glass fashion, and I put a candle in it. Anyway, it meant something to me. And it went, it woke me up. My brother Robert heard the call, and sent me this beautiful red candle holder, tea light candle holder, mason jar. I love it. It's dainty, it's delicate, it's perfect. Thank you, Robert. Hello, Ramona Scott. What's up, Paul Anthony Wallace? Everyone, Paul Anthony has quite his last one is multi-bestseller. He has a new one. Paul, correct me if I'm wrong. And feel free to drop your link to your recent bestseller as well as your new release, if it's not released yet, about your time with others in the form of your wonderful work. Paul says, hi, Keith. Love and peace from another explorer, from one explorer to another. It's good to see everyone. Hello, Derek. What's up, Derek? Derek, I'm going to be recording an album soon. It just came across me as to why I'm bringing this up. Maybe we can do a split song. Send me something you have and I'll play bass for it and throw some ideas, and vice versa. That'd be wonderful. Hello, Rena. Let's see who else is here. Marina Govier, we did say Marinage. Robert Harrison, Katie. Hi, Katie. Katie and I are hooking up. We're going to come collaborate ideas, work, sharing, caring, sparing every part of ourselves and giving it away. So tonight is Center of Light Truth. Heavy in it. It's oh so light. Center of Light Truth. What is the truth? I don't claim to know it. I claim to know what my biscuit looks like with extra divine gravy on it. Everybody has their own biscuit, how they like it. Some like it fluffy, some like it a little squashed. But we all want the gravy. So what is the gravy? The gravy has to be the truth. So what is real? It has to be the truth. Everything else is not real. My condolences. Part of you tonight is going to die. It will. Derek says, let's do it. I love it. Hello, Rena, again. Paul, thank you. His new bestseller, Escaping from Eden. He has a phenomenal YouTube channel. He interviews cool people, rubbing elbows with people who are doing it. Check it out. Paul, feel free to post your YouTube channel in here. Derek, same thing. Center of Light. It belongs to all of us. Paul says, looking forward to some biscuit and cream and maple syrup. Paul, I would still love to come be in your platform if that's allowed, if we can connect in that way. But hello, Vicky Collier. Everyone on YouTube, let me get a grasp on YouTube real quick, and then we'll get down into this presentation. Hello, Kelly. Hello, Trish. Robert. All right, y'all. Tonight is Center of Light Truth. What is real? From A Course in Miracles. Only love is real. Nothing real can be threatened. Those are not just idle words. It's almost a command or commandment that one would choose as the captain of their own mastership to navigate, to compass the course. Of course, you are interested, of clarity, which is nothing real can be threatened. Paul, again, thank you for sharing your beautiful work. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Course of Miracles. Only love is real. Nothing real can be threatened. Number 2 in this list, nothing unreal exists. Except under the monkey's mind, the monkey head. Do, don't do, you better not, you should, you shouldn't, you can, you can't. Holy, blasphemous, real, impossible, all that splintered self. So the last line is the best one, at least mine. Only love is real. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. Bruh. Only love is real. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. From the movie The Matrix, Morpheus, the archetypical teacher. Neo and he are in the simulation program. And he tells Neo, what is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain. So what is real? We're all striving for that. Everyone wants real. Everyone wants reality. We're trying to understand, appreciate, and love duality, moving to principality, higher levels of being. So, no matter what, quote, spiritual work we do, what has to come first is to begin the integration process of what is real. Well, Keith, how do I begin the integration process if I'm not sure what is real? You know it's real. You do. Well, Keith, I don't. I'm telling you, you do. Okay, what is it? It looks just like this. On the right-hand side of your screen, that is what's real. You are what's real. That's the deal. Do you feel that majesty, that power inside of yourself? Because without you, nothing is real. If no one is in a forest and a tree tumbles over, it doesn't make a sound. It's quite simple, but yet difficultly profound. What is real? It's a good question. Your family is real. Karma is real, but it's not. It's not necessarily the real deal. So what is real? It's a very honest, beautiful, powerful question when we truly lean into it with all intent and all sincerity and passion, humility and vulnerability. The answer simply surfaces and says, good morning. Or good in your mourning, your difficulty, your grief. So what is real? I know the trouble in your life, the pain you feel. It's all part of the love. But depending on how you're leaning in the scale, which way you tilt, love or guilt is going to come across to you as real. One of them is real and the other is not. The experience of said other is real. Maybe that's the point. Maybe what is real and what is not the point. Maybe what is truly real between what we think is real and what is not is the all of it. Maybe that's the center of light truth. The question tonight is, what is real? Maybe it's simply the dance of dancing for the sake of dancing. You see, we are busy, monkey-minded creatures. We want to move very quick, move a lot. That's the human nature, or the human's way of doing things. So what is real? You have to stop it all of it, to fall into the place to say, what I thought was real is very illusionary. I've fallen into disillusionment. So what is real? I'll name a few of those models for you. Joy is eternal. It's real. God, source, creation, all that is infinity, eternity, it's real. And you could bet your sweet bippy it's joyful. It's even better than that. It's blissful. That's real. Bliss is real. Well, Keith, I don't know if it's real. I have not had that experience. There's work to be done. And the work should be effortless work. You should be in a playful nature of yourself. How often do you play with yourself? Just you in your sandbox by yourself. Of course, it's extra divine gravy on your spiritual biscuit when you have friends come over and play in the sandbox with you and offer some of the toys that you don't have and you swap. That's cool. Nothing else is real but the left-hand side of your picture. Left-hand side. Everything's opposite for me. The finger pointing at you. It's you. Love is the only thing that is real. That which is real cannot be threatened. The unreal does not exist. Herein lies the peace of God. Are you that peace? P-I-E-C-E? P-E-A-C-E. Peace of God. Are you a fractal of the whole? Do you see yourself as a fractal of the whole? Or do you see yourself as fractured from the whole? Neither one of those are what you are. Neither one. You're not the fractals. We are. You're definitely not the fractures. You may think. But we are the mirror itself. So we came here to earth to be mirrored ourselves from the greater self, the love, the joy, the eternity, the infinity, the bliss. That which is real cannot be threatened. So we come down here as, depending on karmic attributes, life choices, and we often incarnate feeling threatened. I understand threatened. The first thing that happens when you step, come out into this world, you get smacked on your hiney to help you breathe. What am I doing in this place? The first thing I experience is a spanking on my hiney. That hurts and it's painful. And integrated and engram goes into the mind that life on this planet is painful. What is real? Nothing is real if you are not there to actually seal the deal. In all of your zeal, all of your appeal, it requires you to melt your skin and your bones down to your soul. And you will understand that this corporeal self, it's fun. Listen, let me tell you, I am probably one of the best ever created at being human. I'm really good at being human. I get it. And I don't want to lose that aspect of myself. So now it comes down to conscious, honest with oneself choice. It's okay. You can delay your time of arrival. And the word delay is not really a delay. It's just simply your choice. Because it's not about a linear timeline that one gets there faster than the other. One just gets there, which is actually here, simply when you just choose. Win or lose, love, song, or the blues. It's up to what we choose. To me and to all of yous. What do you want? Now is the greatest possibility. 26,000 year cycle comes back around and says, remember me? Are you tired of the karmic cycle? I am the one. The window. I am the door. The door of I am. You have to want to step into it. But I love going to Dolly World and riding the hurricane. I love to going to Disney World and riding whatever redonkulous roller coaster they have. Sometimes that is blissful, erotic, exotic, full of fire, full of anxiety. We like rides. Everyone can go. You can bet when you go to a high dollar or popular amusement park, you're going to wait in line for an hour to ride your favorite coaster that just was released to the public even 5 years ago. It probably take 5 or 10 minutes to get on the Ferris wheel. What do you want? So the wheel, the Ferris wheel, the hamster's wheel, we love it. It's beautiful. No one says you have to just simply toss it in the trash, because it's not trash. It's your cash to realize that not only do you have this life, you have this eternal life, that you can make a beautiful, delicious sandwich. Everyone wants extra divine gravy on their spiritual biscuit. You're not here simply to be human. You're not here to die to go back to the divine. You're here to live, to be humanly divine, but ironically, some part of you, or at least what you think you are, has to die, because we've become so bodily identified. What is this? This is me. That's not you. What is this? This is my arm. So the question simply becomes, who is this me that is landlord? Lord, land, we are of earth on the land. Lord, who is this landlord of this arm? Now we're moving into deeper upon deeper layers of the spirit of what is the center of light truth. What is real? No matter what, whatever happened to you all day long was beautiful, and it was deliciously real. When held up against the truth of what is reality, is a different kind of real. It's in layers. Sometimes pain can be beautiful. Keith, didn't you just say all those joys and blisses and this is what's real and everything else is? Pain can be beautiful. In hindsight, for me, all those years ago when I was in a dark night of the soul for 2 years, at this present vantage point, as I launch myself, time traveler that we all are, back to that time when I was in pain, and this present moment was the most beautiful, powerful thing that could have ever happened to me. That's real. When I was lost in the ridiculousness of it, when I had anger, which is guilt turned within the self. Guilt is anger turned within the self. I was angry at myself. Everything I didn't do. And then I realized I was ignorant, simply ignorant. I didn't know about this stuff until this stuff filled my experience to give me the possibility, the opportunity to do something different than I've always known. What is that? The opportunity to step into what could possibly be real. What is it that's possible for me? And I stepped into the fire. And in that fire, nothing is real at all. Simply, ironically, it's all real. It's all true. So what is the truth beyond the true? It looks like this. On the left side of your screen, it's you. And your truth, even in your unconscious state or conscious state, will simply mirror to you yourself. Tonight, shortly, I'm going to play a video of my brand new teacher. Oh my gosh. I fall deeper into myself when I listen to this beautiful man in a very soft, illumined, powerful way. This amber-like glow abounds him. His name is Shunyamurti. He's going to be speaking about what is real. How do we go from unreal to real? That question is for those who only want to know the answer. Some may exit this theater right now. Fantastic. Have a wonderful night. Hope to see you soon. It's all good. Some want more. Some want even more divine gravy on their biscuit. He's going to give you a gravy boat with a spiritual cosmic ladle. And it's a help yourself. And it's what we take from the experience. He's going to offer you a lot. His word usage is impeccable. His space is soft, very loud, and the softness he is. I'm going to play you a song real quick. I'm going to be right back. Welcome everyone to Center of Light Truth. What is real? Please share this everywhere. Why? Because you can. Pro bono. Tammy says, tears. Robert says, Paul, welcome to Tribe Yanava, basically. All right, I'm going to play a song. I'm going to be right back. Some Shunyamurti coming at you soon. What is real? Scenarios can seem real. They're very real in the form of experience. But are we seeing correctly? Because when we see clearly, with clarity, real begins to look a little different. It begins to look illusory. What helps us to find clarity? There's a divine lover, a person in your life, a child, a memory, your deity. Tragedy in the world is real. The tragedy isn't. What it does to you is God itself. Always the goal is God itself. Divine lover. See you shortly.
I will be with you always until the end of time. You will never be alone. I am.
days, I feel you there beside me. All of my lives, all through my days, I've seen places far away. Wondering just when, time and again, I have come to know you. Wondering just when, time and again, you are there beside me. When I create, when I feel love, whenever I feel you with me, I celebrate times of my life. There is only you and me. Help me know
It is my will that you know me. I will not hide my love from you. You create your reality and every moment by your own perceptions, your judgments, actions. Peace is a state of mind. Bliss is a state of heart. Heaven is a state of being.
deep in my heart, I know you're there. I can always feel you guiding my life to see the light that will lead me to the truth. When I create, when I feel love, whenever I feel you with me, I celebrate times of my life. There is only you and me. For you are my mother,
My soul.
my divine lover. I celebrate times of my life. There is only you and me. Help me live.
Hello, all you sexy human creatures. Welcome to Center of Light. Right off the get-go, share this to you all. It may reach someone who is reaching for the golden ring just like you. What is the golden ring? It's not what you think. It is what you want. It may come through the guise of what you think it is. Instead of going for the superficial aspect of it, when you move to the deeper layer, that which is meaningful, the real reason, it becomes the season of your harvest. I want you to be a joyful, sexy, beautiful human being. You owe me nothing. Gina says, it's cool, Keith. You demand. We're going to get real. It's yours for the taking. We're all looking for bliss, burst of light. I'm going to empower you. I'm going to get down to some beeswax, cosmic broham, oink, to say I love you. Flagship Mother Earth, this way. Inward is upward, and that is forward. Powerful. Any thought that you have that is not of the highest ideal contains self-sabotage. Ride, Captain, ride upon your mystery ship. I'm holding on because I'm scared to death of the changes that are happening in the world, the changes that are happening within me, but I'm living in the old world paradigm and I'm going nowhere. I'm bored out of my skull. That's called insanity. I'm already feeling it come into every fiber of my being, though I have no idea about the future timeline of where this is going because I don't care. I just know that I am living in that joy in this moment. This way. In is the way out, where you are in your being, your experience. If you want joy, ecstasy, and peace beyond you've ever had in your being, because when you're inward, you don't need anything. And therefore, you have everything. Why would you believe anything when you can know everything? So now we went from this very tiny, minute little possibility of self to an explosion of infinite possibility in God. Metaphor for up. We always known God to be up. When we have these connections with spirit, then our life moves forward. Welcome to Center of Light. Tonight is Center of Light Truth. I know it's bold. I like playing on the edge. Do you? The edge is where, ironically, everything smooths out. Walking the razor's edge. You can cut your feet if you're unconscious. But when we become conscious, we can walk across hot coals. The razor's edge. Tonight is Center of Light Truth. The truth, trust me when I tell you, is the razor's edge. And there's nothing sharper than the truth. How can there be? Can't go into being aloof when we know the truth. Now we know the barometer. The truth is that, one, you will always exist. You are aware of the fact that you exist. That can never be changed. What you put out, you get back. That is the truth. That which is real can't be threatened. That which can be threatened is unreal in the first place. Herein lies the peace of God. I made a meme last night, and it's sort of been the theme tonight, which is everyone wants extra divine gravy on their spiritual biscuit. Speaking of biscuit, without further ado, Shunyamurti, my new love, fascination, imagination, he sits in the soft glow of powerful divine light. What is real? His video is titled Moving, I'm paraphrasing, from Unreal to Real. I'll see you in about 17 minutes. Wow.
So, some of you are new to this field, including myself. So we should define terms. We often begin a seminar like this with the ancient Upanishadic prayer, the first line of which is Asat Oma Sat Gamaya, which is usually translated, lead me from the unreal to the real. So lead me from Asat to Sat, from the unreal to the real. So the definition of Sat is the real. I think we can start with that. It's sometimes translated as being, but for the Indians, that means the supreme being or beingness. But I think it's useful for us to say we are in the process of rediscovering what is real and what is unreal. Yoga? That's a term everyone should know. What does yoga mean? Union. Everyone gets that because nowadays when people say they're doing yoga, they mean exercises of some kind. And there is not so much of a sense of the goal of all of that being union. But here we're talking about union with the real. So it's an important question at the very beginning. What is it that unites with the real? Can the unreal really unite with the real? Or by union, do we mean simply the love of the real? Because union is the consummation of love. And love of the real is what enables the real to manifest in all of its glory. And the glory of Sat comes in what comes along with it when the real is fully emerged. Which is often referred to in the Indian philosophy as Sat Chit Ananda. Chit means intelligence, but it's the infinite intelligence of the supreme real, the supreme being, if you will, and the blissful nature of that intelligent power. The power which is the source of the universe, of the manifestation of the world, and the source of not only its manifestation, but its sustenance, and ultimately its end. And it has an end. The world has an end. The Sat does not have an end, nor a beginning. And the sages of India say that we are now near the time of the end of what is called Kali Yuga, the dark age, the age of the lowest level of the human species, which has become bestial and savage toward other members of the same species and toward nature, etc., and the collapse of civilization, which we are in the midst of. But Sat does not. So this is what is important. Only the unreal dies, which is why it may be of great urgency to be led to the real before that event seems to occur, so you won't be fooled into thinking that death pertains to you or destruction. There are two words they use for the end in India. Vinash and Samhara. Now, Vinash is generally translated as destruction, which is why they call Shiva the destroyer, because he comes at the end. He is that final force, divine force. But in the Kashmiri philosophy of this whole process of the creation, sustenance, and the end, the term used is samhara, which does not mean destruction, it means withdrawal. So what it says is that at the end, Shiva, or Sat, but Sat in a way personified, withdraws the world, withdraws the energy from the illusion, from the unreal, and returns it all to the real. That withdrawal is, in quantum physics terms, a decollapse of the quantum wave function, which makes the human level of consciousness think that there are objects and people and things instead of just simply an infinite mass of divine light. But once the wave function is decollapsed, is freed, then the particles return to the waves, and the waves to the ocean, the unified field, and there is only light and awareness, prakasha and vimarsha. That is the return, the samhara. And it is that final act of the withdrawal of the illusion so that the real is realized by everyone and everything, because all of us are manifestations of the real. All of us are that right now, here and now. There's nothing you need to do. But if you want to realize the bliss of that, instead of suffering with the illusion of paranoia that comes with being ignorant of that truth, then that bliss comes from the intense union with the real that eliminates the traces of belief in the unreal. Okay? So, real and unreal, but instead of unreal, we'll use a Lacanian term and we'll say the imaginary. From the ego's perspective, the world is made of images, whether they're visual images or sonic images or images of any of the senses. All of the senses produce a kind of an image, an impression on the mind. So the world is made up of the variety of the 5 sense images that we get and the information that we get between the lines from intuition and from memory and often from teleological understanding that comes from the future, that can come precognitively to us. So there are different sources of information. But what we are getting at the level of the senses is an imaginary view of the world, like the icons on a computer screen. That's the images, but the program that creates the images you don't see or understand their logic necessarily. And so we are dealing with only the effects of processes that are invisible, imperceptible to the mind that operates in the imaginary. In other words, if the consciousness falls to the level where it identifies with one of those images that it calls its body, and then it believes that it's an actual, empirical, sentient being in a world, and that that world is real, then it has fallen into the imaginary. And it has flipped. And once you're in the imaginary, you will tend to think that the real is only imaginary. And in the 20th century in particular, the locus of consciousness became much more decidedly centered in the ego. And so all notions of a transcendent real, whether in the form of God or Buddha nature or whatever, were for the most part eliminated from scientific and philosophical logic. But that logic could not understand the levels of consciousness and intelligence that transcend the ego. And so from the ego mind, which operates in two-valued logic, that something is either true or false, black or white, it cannot grasp the full spectrum and the nuances of understanding that are present in the infinite intelligence, in the chit. So moving from the imaginary to the real is also moving from a restricted level of intelligence, that in Sanskrit would be the chitta, to the chitti, which is the unrestricted, unlimited intelligence of that supreme being. So if you want to become more intelligent, the way you do that is to disidentify from the belief, which is a false belief, that you are a physical entity, that you are a bodily being, and to realize that no, you may have images of the body, and you may have images of who you are to other people that you got from projections by your parents in childhood or from the social order or the internet or whatever, but they are self-images. And you need to understand the difference between the self-image and the self. They're very different. So we want to move to all of those. Now, in between the imaginary and the real is the symbolic dimension. And that's our capacity to use reason, thought, jnana, knowledge, understanding, to deconstruct the ego, which is the basic imaginary construct, and to transcend all of the false beliefs, the distortions, the projections, the egocentric biases and prejudices of the imaginary in order to discover the real and to unite with it, to realize that that is the truth, and thus be liberated, freed from not just illusion and ignorance, but from the limitation of your own intelligence and therefore your power, and from fear, from desire, from the entrapments in the imaginary dimension that cause all of our suffering. So it's a path of freedom from suffering, which comes from freedom from ignorance and illusion. So if we're led from the unreal to the real, as the prayer says, we're also led from the tamasic to the jyotir, the jyoti bindu. So that's the second line, tamaso ma jyotir gamaya. Tamas, or the tamasic level of consciousness, can mean a level that is impure, corrupt, inert, stuck, a level that has stopped growing, that is fixed and fixated, obsessed with a certain set of desires and fears and identifications, etc., to the purity of luminous presence, the purity of mind that is filled with light, purity, brightness, shining with intelligence, with wisdom. And the final line is mrityor ma amritam gamaya, meaning lead me from the realm of death to immortality. Why? Because the real is not born. What is real in you was not born. It existed before your body did. Your consciousness came into the body at a certain point when the body was still in the prenatal intrauterine state, but your consciousness was never born itself. It identified, it projected itself into the body, and maybe it still is doing that, but it's not actually in the body physically, and it doesn't die at the death of the body. We know that from now many near-death experiences that happen in emergency rooms in hospitals all the time, that people can flatline, go through brain death or heart death, and yet they'll come back with very clear experiences, not only of a higher dimension of light, but also of being out of body on this plane and have accurate memories that were not simply fantasies. So the reality of that unborn and undying immortal self that is real, that you are, is you, and therefore it cannot be difficult to reach who you really are if you're willing to let go of who you're not, but that your ego believes it is. So I hope that's all clear. Now, what's the problem? Okay, why is it that this knowledge has been around for thousands of years? Probably all of you have read some book of Advaita or Kashmir Shaivism or even mystical Christianity or alchemy or Taoism or any of the non-dual traditions. You've probably all been steeped in books of that kind, and yet perhaps you would say, I'm still not yet liberated into the real. Why? Okay, that's what we want to understand, because it can't be difficult, right? It really is a simple choice. Why don't we make that choice?
Welcome to Center of Light. I love being me. I hope you love being you. Opportunity to look, to see. Being lightning in the illusion grounding opening. Join me in this forever endeavor of becoming the infinite potential itself. The Bible, Peter being the rock. The storm can bitch being in center. There is no storm. Convincing, but it is drama. Roller coaster at an amusement park, it's fun. That's why you get on it, but it scares you shitless. You, the person strapped in the car, knows that you're just on a ride. Likewise, what's happening all around you? It's just a ride. Sometimes lightning strikes in the family. Sometimes lightning strikes in the world. I'm just like you. No different. Redirecting. Everything around us begins to change simply by our way of being. Christ, Buddha, Krishna, your great-grandmother, icon. My brother or sister said something yesterday that truly moved me. And because of what they said, they sparked an entire movement. Listen to what I'm telling. John Doe or Jill Doe, they spilled their heart guts. Unity with an idea that is greater and higher. Bring the lightning to earth. We understand higher perception. Things do come along, knock us off of our center. And I recognize that I am off center. What am I going to do from that point? Am I going to continue to freak out? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I'm cognizant, intelligent, grounded. Compose yourself. The best ploy. Yes, it caught me off guard. You didn't see it coming. You don't have to see what's coming. You are the calm in the storm, no matter how much the storm wants to be. Like Peter, you become the rock. You become the lightning. Welcome to the Center of Light. Good to see you tonight. Center of Light Truth. Bold statement. I like dabbling in the edge, the razor's edge. Center of Light Truth. The truth is a sharp edge. If you don't know what the truth is, it will cut you. If you know what the truth is, you will glaze on the blade that could cut you without effort. What is the truth? You are the truth. Hence this image right here on your extreme. I don't know if it's left or right. Everything is backwards. The image is pointing directly at you. What is real? You are what is real. There is nothing else that is greater as the truth than you. Go look in the mirror and it will prove it to yourself that, oh my God, I am real. I am present. I exist. This is your corporeal suit. But what is this thing that moves into this bag of bones, flesh? What is that? How long will that last? 70, 80 years if you're lucky. With today's current medical technology, doesn't matter. You will be forever. That's the truth. Forever is the truth. That which is true cannot be threatened. That which can be threatened is not real. Herein lies the peace of God. Homecoming, Crossing the Bridge to the Soul. My new bestseller. The links are in this forum. If you read it, fantastic. Thank you. If you have not, go there. You can purchase it now. But for those who have read it, you can go there, follow the same hyperlink, hyperjump, and give me a review. From Homecoming, Crossing the Bridge to the Soul. 1996. Same thing Shunyamurti just expressed. Spirit and I are having a conversation. And I tell Spirit about the truth, the right and wrong, the noise in the world. It's like there's a battle going on within me. I feel I know what's real, but my analytical mind still tries very hard to convince me otherwise. I guess I've allowed the stuff I've taken in since birth to rule all of my decisions. And Spirit says, yes, that internal struggle is what I meant earlier when I spoke about right and wrong. This is integral to anyone's spiritual growth. Confusion has shaped your every doubt. Doubt has created your confusion and lack of clarity. Fear has taken away your power to create the life you truly want. These are your only opponents. There are no others. The only way to win this game we are talking about is to stop playing it. Moving forward. And I ask, honestly, Spirit, I say, how? How do I do that? Stop thinking that you yourself are incapable of creating something beautiful. When you doubt, you either move forward in time or back, away from the power of the here and now. This is all the thing that's real. Everything else is illusionary. Doubt always creates gravity, drag, and dread, and as soon as you entertain it, it stifles anything creative you are trying to will forth. Only when you trust that everything will fall into place will you find real power. And I say to Spirit, it is not that I don't trust, it's more that I don't know how to let go of doubt. And I think that applies to all of us. Spirit responds, I know what you're trying to say, Keith. So let me suggest this. Give yourself the gift of accepting, if only for a few minutes at a time at first, that you are in a state of knowing at all times, a state in which you can easily recognize whether there is doubt, whether there is trust, whether there is fear or love that is in charge of your life. Then begin to peg the power that doubt holds over you and use this to your advantage. If you notice doubt, simply just redirect your knowing of said doubt to cancel it. Realize that nothing can possibly manifest through it. Let the knowing part of you, it's so small, let the knowing part of you that so wants to blossom transform your doubt into trust, then watch what happens. The knower within you, with the know-how to get what you want, will silently be still, will silently emerge. If you take your trust to the ultimate level by wanting nothing and trusting your higher self, God, with your entire life, Spirit will begin to move within you and give you something far beyond what you can dream up on your own. Spirit continues. When you begin to see through all of your illusions, the beauty that has always been there will humble you. The circle of life will then curve back within you, and suddenly God will be present for you at a conscious level. And I ask the question, what about future lessons? When something happens that you know could potentially be with you for a long time, I suggest that you heed and heal it at the very moment it transpires. And I say, please share with me how. While an issue is new, it is still potential energy. It has not yet become static. But if you let it fester, it will put down deep roots in an effort to mire you in its illusion. The longer it stays frozen, the tougher the thaw will be. I know that I have been telling you that everything is God, so you must be wondering, how is it that terrible things can be God? Unreal. Real. This is the response from 1996. What you perceive as terrible is not the reality of God, but an illusion created by you. What I am saying is that the mind can never open up enough to take God in, so you must open your heart in order to move out of an illusion and into my reality. And I ask Spirit the question, but how will I know when I'm there? You will know you are heart-centered when you begin to see a world made up of hues that you could never see before. Everything will appear different to you, as if illumined. You will know that you have become heart-centered when you notice that joy, reality, that which is real, that joy is residing within you full times. I skip a little bit in the book and I found this excerpt, and I say to Spirit, yep, sometimes those voices in my head are so loud that they almost drive me crazy. Spirit says, when that happens, it's just the devil and the angel we talked about earlier actively enticing you, psst, listen to me, to come their way. It is obvious that the devil image on your shoulder is devilish, but are you absolutely sure that the angel on your other shoulder is not the same devil in disguise? I tell you that these two tempters are only capable of whispering incorrect choices in your ear. The correct choice, the only choice for you to heed, is the one that encourages you to use the divine principles and spiritual laws to move you through the duality of right and wrong. And I say, I do all I can to live by them, but when I do, fear sometimes still wells up inside of me. And Spirit says, fears of what? And I say, you. Slightly embarrassed. And Spirit says, me? And I say, yes. Yes, but it's on a level I don't think I understand yet. And Spirit does not let me off the hook. It says, oh, yes, you do, Keith. You know that your fears come from what you were taught about me long ago. Still, that does not mean I am that way. I am not about the praise and punishment that you were subjected to as a child. Do not forget that you are the one that has chosen to live in this world of duality that mirrors everything you are. Once you decide to take up full responsibility for creating your experience, you will then be afraid of nothing. Take a moment now and imagine you are sitting by a still pond. You look into it and see your face looking back at you. You try to touch your reflection, that mirror, that fractal or that fracture. You try to touch your reflection, but as soon as your hand skims the water, the image simply disappears. When that happens, you feel certain that what you have seen is an illusion. So you reach up to touch your face, confident that your tangible body is real and your reflection is not. But do not be fooled, Keith. Only your experience of that experience or any experience is what can be considered real. And no matter what you believe about anything, all you will ever experience is yourself. So what is real? Joy, bliss, grace, meditation, prayer, consciousness, awareness. All these wonderful qualities are real. But what is most real is you, the one that gives life and is life-giving to yourself. Of those wonderful qualities. It's all about you, without which nothing is real at all. That which is real cannot be threatened. You cannot be threatened because you are real, and that which cannot be threatened has to be eternal. You are an eternal being. You are a child of the living light. Nothing, that which can be threatened is not real. Herein lies the peace of God. How delicious and easy the universe has been laid in within all of us. It's calling all of us. The world of effort and learning. I get learning. We learn. But learning with effort and study. It's not real. Intuition is real. You are real. You are more in your reality when the you that you are in your intuition and in your joy and in your bliss. Are you missing something? You're not. You are whole and complete. God can be seen as fractals of a whole mirror that shattered itself? Or are you busy putting your piece together with the other pieces, P-I-E-C-E, P-E-A-C-E, those pieces? And when we do, we should not be surprised to see the image, which has no image at all except the one that looks like you when you look in the mirror, shining through. It's the peace of God. You are a piece of that eternal expression of the truth. Tonight is Center of Light Truth. What is real? I will tell you exactly what isn't real. Everything that gets burnt away until all that is left is eternity, the truth. Religion is not real. It's beautiful, a way of celebrating your Creator. Your food is not real. It's beautiful. It helps you to sustain your life, to celebrate Creator. I get that. This is all ceremony and ritualistic and beautiful as we use our life as the altar to alter ourselves as we celebrate Creator. It's all wonderful. Are we done with all that? If you're not, continue, follow that path. But I think we've reached the garden. We're ready to enter into the kingdom within. And within is the garden. We need to quit hardening our hearts, if that's truly the destination you want to reach. So the destination you're wanting to reach is not a destination as far as a linear timeline from where you are now to where you think you are going. Because when you get to truly where you are going, you will find yourself here. And now that you are here, my beautiful cosmic bro, sister dear, you're loved beyond measure. It is my pleasure. What is real? Maybe simply, you don't ever come up with an answer. The question is not for you to answer. The question is simply for you to ask. When you go to bed at night, bask in this beautiful light, this question. Dear God, grandmother, whatever it is that's your way, show me what is real. So don't answer the question. Always ask. Engage with your divine parent as if you're engaging with something. But I want to engage. I want to become into a marriage. Then comes your divine birth, the baby carriage. Sexy human being you are. She said, what is real?